video on my 2008 Honda TRX450ER. I've had this puppy for 2 years now. I want to go over things I really like about it, the things I've had to do to it, and just in general, I don't know, what it's like having a 450. You know, what makes this quad addicting to ride is how sporty it is. Its stance, how much it accelerates, how it loves to accelerate, the braking, the handling. I refer to it as a little Ferrari. It's just phenomenal. There's really something about the angle of it, like with the handlebars in your foot position, your ability to shift on the fly while full throttle. That's what makes this a little bit different than the Raptor. I know it's just positioning, but with the little bit of a lower seat and like the lower engine placement, you absolutely notice it. Yeah, so a couple years ago I tried to buy a new Yamaha, and it was obviously very difficult to get anything, so I picked up something used, and it had been used in ice racing up in Canada. Like, the front wheels had metal spikes in the tires. Like, this thing had been absolutely bagged on, but the plan was to fix it up, and I've done that, and I'll go over what I've done. So engine wise, top end, bottom end, that has been redone. There's probably 20 hours on it. Exhaust, Yoshimura. There's a shitty old K&N air filter. I'm going to replace it with Fuel Customs or something better. Brand new rubber, and it's been widened. So spacers in the back, and then Alba +2 in the front. Stock suspension on this was crazy stiff. I don't know if it was something that the previous owner did or that's the way it came, but it was like Indy 500 stiff, too stiff for out here in Canada. So Elka stage 3, it was expensive, but totally worth it. This quad, the way it is now, I wish there could be a 6th gear in it. It already handled good, now it handles 10 times better, and the power band on it is just sick. Like, I'm still breathing heavy from taking it for a ride. Like, you have to be in shape to get the most out of this quad. I change the oil frequently on it, and the fun factor on this is not going to be beat. I think a Raptor is a better overall, like a more well-rounded sports quad. But if I had to only have one, I don't know, man. This Honda is just, it is something special. You know, growing up, I had a Honda 250R, a trike. It was like a 1983. That thing absolutely hauled. And so I've been in love with Honda ever since. And this was 40th birthday present, old dog, and thought to top it off, get an old quad, fix the old girl up, and yeah, see how she comes out. Overall, like, I try not to ride this quad as much as I should because I like want to preserve it. It's that good. I know it's a Honda, it runs forever, but the performance of that new engine and just the immediate power of it, it's just phenomenal. As far as handling goes, this thing is like a Ferrari, like 10 out of 10, especially after it's been widened and with the tires. Like, fresh rubber like this, it is the #1 way to increase handling performance. It is just, it's phenomenal, the difference that it makes. For the front brakes, I ended up putting in Alba discs and brake pads, and they're larger on the 450 than the Raptor, surprisingly. The brakes on this Honda are phenomenal. Like, this thing it's a Ferrari. It is incredible how well it handles. It definitely has a more aggressive riding stance to it. Like, you can, like, when you're giving her and you're standing up, the angles are very slight compared to the Raptor, but it makes a difference. You can easily ride this quad very slow, very cushy, very cool. But then, you know, when you spank it, this thing absolutely roars. Yeah, so this is first gear. It's not bad. The transmission is tighter, like the shifting compared to the Raptor. The center of gravity is a little bit lower. It is very easy to throw this around, and how the engine wants to rev. It loves playing higher up in the RPM band, and that's what just makes the fun factor in this like incredibly high. So I see why these things are legendary. Yeah. So for the steering stabilizer, it's an Alba +1, just their anti-vibe. You end up getting their steel brake lines when you get the A-arms. But otherwise, factory handlebars and factory everything else except the grips. And yeah, there's been very little changed on this quad besides the obviously widening it. Yeah, so for a weekend warrior looking for a fun light quad to rip around on, yeah, these older Hondas, absolutely phenomenal. Anyways, in conclusion, super fun quad. Lots of people have already know this. I know I'm super late to the party with this, but at the end of the day, hey, I don't care. I like this thing, and share the world. Share it to the world. Like, this is probably one of the funnest quads anybody will ever ride. The Suzuki's, obviously, the Yamahas, all of them. These 450 Sport classes, they're their own little beast, and I can't recommend anyone that doesn't have one, get one. Even a used one. Fix her up, you'll be a happy pappy. Where this quad is not good is if you have a lot of terrain where you have to go slow. Like, it does not do well doing stuff like that. Like, it can do okay throughout some trail riding and that, but if you start getting into anything super gnarly, this is not the right machine. This likes open spaces, flat trails. The difference with the Elka suspension and the rebound adjustment and how things are set up now and widening it, it's not even the same quad compared to factory. It makes that much of a difference. It's expensive, but it is absolutely worth it.